Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Transformation Tuesday, May 2nd, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. The day after the Met Gala, Rihanna shut the red carpet down. She was fashionably late. She was the last on the red carpet, and it was so worth it. I absolutely loved her look. Now, joining me today, we have two of the most amazing actors and models there is in the business. You guys are familiar with Tia and Tamera Mari, Mary-Kate and Ashley, and the Property Brothers. Well, joining me today, we have John and Jonathan Coulton, who have dominated the fashion world by storm. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome, yes, you're seeing double, the JJ Twins. Oh,
Hey,
hello,
hey,
gentlemen. I am doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
we're
It
good.
is a pleasure
We're
to
good.
have you both here. Now, I know the audience is looking like, oh my God, it's two of them. Yes, they are brothers and they have taken over the fashion world by storm. So before we kick off this interview, how has 2023 been for you both thus far?
It's been really good, actually.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's been good. I was gonna let him answer first to see what he was gonna say, but it's
yeah,
been good. We in the industry, you have to work it from all angles. We're actors as well, and so it's been pretty busy. We've been blessed to be able to do a lot of commercial print, commercials, some film stuff, and keeping it fashionable on the
Yes.
runway.
So let's
yeah.
start from the beginning. Way back when. How did you guys get your start into the business, into modeling and acting?
So, actually, I was working in a bank and had some people come in, basically scouted and was like, "Hey, you don't belong here," and you know, invited me to do some auditioning, and then they found out I had an identical twin, and from there it was, yeah, pretty much everything that was written. We sort of got our foot in the door, signed with some smaller agencies, and then from there we just continued to build because I mean, at the end of the day, in the industry, you got to continue to work for yourself and also have other people that's on your team that's working for you as well.
Yeah, and I think we were doing the like he was saying. He was at a bank. We were doing the whole corporate America thing, and then yes, the whole scouting thing. So it was something we prayed about, and then it kind of took off from there. We were doing it part time while we were still in corporate America. It couldn't just stop, and I feel like we had to grow ourselves within the industry before we could make that decision to do it full time.
Yeah,
Now, what's
yeah,
crazy is that you both graduated from Louisiana Tech with degrees in finance. What was that experience for you
yes.
guys?
It was cool. It was cool. So we both started off in computer science. I personally wanted to do software engineering. Louisiana Tech does not have a software engineering program. Well, that back when we were in college. So, but we also had to work in college. We had to pay for books. We had to pay for it was up to us to and our mom. Of course, our mom contributing what she could, but hey, we had to work while we were in college. We wanted money to be able to do some of the stuff to feed ourselves and some of the other things. So, with that being said, computer science was demanding, like 8 to 3:15, the classes, the courses, and then from 5:15 to like 9 o'clock in the evening, a computer lab.
Yeah,
So we were probably in it for about 2 years, but you know how it is. The first 2 years, those are like your do you take college serious classes?
yeah,
So we were able to switch over some of the classes that we had already taken to this new major that we were about to embark on, and it worked out. We were still able to finish it in 4 years and get our
And
degree.
look at you
So
guys now. Now, I could go down a list of accolades of work that you guys have done throughout your career. And John, you starred in The Bricks alongside Jamal Dennis, who I've had on the show not too long ago. And that was a great interview. I'm pretty sure you guys have
I saw
glimpsed it.
that.
And Khalil Kane is also in the film.
Yeah.
Tell us, what was that experience like being on set with both of them?
Yeah, it was super cool. As far as Khalil Kane, we we had seen him on TV when we were kids, right? Yeah. So I remember getting the audition, and then Jonathan was actually the one to tell me that, hey, did you see Khalil Kane was like producing the movie and stuff like that, and then I was like, dang, I kind of slacked on my research a little bit. I usually like to research, but anyway, I found out, and then super excited. The first day I was on set, meeting him, meeting Jamal, and some of the other people. It was cool. He has that calm, cool, collected kind of demeanor about himself, but at the same time, again, super cool. And look, hold on, I know you want to say something. But it was funny because we kind of joked around, we light skinned with the hazel eyes and stuff like that. Like, you look like you could be my son, So
Right.
yeah, it was cool.
He forgot to tell you a very funny part though. So we actually auditioned for the role that he did. We both auditioned for it, and it was right before he did his audition. He decided that he was going to put on a blue jean jacket of mine. All right. And this is actually how he got chosen. So he wears the blue jean jacket.
It's not that I'm the better actor.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. That's wishful thinking, I guess. I don't know.
But he wears this blue jean jacket, and Khalil was like, dang, like, I can't tell them apart. He said, you know what? Let's go with the one with the blue jean jacket. I like that. And that's exactly so him, Shannon, and the other people who were the producers and directors of the film.
What is some of the advice that he's given you guys? Because I'm pretty sure you guys have known, you've been in the game for a long time. What is some advice that he's given you, Khalil Kane?
Just not to take I guess not to take what you don't get. There's some projects that you'll have an opportunity, maybe you make it to the callback, and you're in the final selection, and you don't always get it, and that's the nature of the industry. But not to take it to heart, because it's a grind, and the more positive you can stay, the better for you. Because it can be the smallest thing. It's not always based on ability. It can be the smallest thing as far as why somebody gets it over you. So, and he's been he's been involved in so much. So that, I think that meant a lot to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see the journey where you guys have come through. The JJ twins, big fan. Hello, Stevie. Beautiful as always and forever. Thank you, Electin. And I have to give credit to our makeup artist here, Melanie Nalamai Bridges. Thank you, Melanie, for always getting me right every interview. Executed perfectly. And today's look is inspired by the Met Gala. Yesterday, it was Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty. And it's the classic Chanel white and black, honoring fashion pioneer Karl Lagerfeld. So today's look is inspired by the Met Gala. That's why you see the organza of it. So now let's get to you guys' career accolades, because you guys have done so much. New York Fashion Week. You've done San Francisco Fashion Week. You've done Dallas Fashion Week. You guys both hosted different events, Society Company Launch, and you doubled for Steph Curry and Seth Curry on ESPN. So tell us, what was that experience like, being able to double for two of basketball's biggest stars?
was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it was him who was a double, and yeah, he got it, and they didn't know that he had a twin at the time. So
yeah,
but yeah, well, I'll let you talk about
but
it.
it was actually pretty cool. So the day that we sort of worked on this project, Steph Curry, I mean, I remember he walked in. I mean, he's very, very cool. And but the director, so it was actually for a commercial where they were doing brothers, sibling families, and they were basically seeing a psychiatrist because of, you know, because of, I guess, family issues in sports, right? And it was pretty funny. It was a comedy, but anyway, it was actually the coolest thing because I mean, we were shooting tissue in a trash can, having a competition, and I mean, Seth Curry was like one of the coolest people ever. But then I also got the opportunity to talk with Steph Curry as well. He was actually supposed to be there, but the production ended up flying out to California, to the Bay Area, because his daughter was sick. Which I love the fact that I mean, he definitely,
he's a family man, takes care of him. Look, I will say with that production, Jonathan is shooting a piece of paper in the trash can, and it's I think that's when it became so much of a reality for me, how well protected, because if there's a chance that they could get injured just by shooting a piece of paper into a trash can, they're not going to do it. Like, they're going to have an actor there to do it for them, So that was kind of cool. I was like, it's just shooting paper, but it is what it is. It's in their contracts and stuff.
Yeah, but it was really good. It was really.
What was it like meeting him? Like, was he all you guys expected to be?
That and then some, because you always take a chance, like meeting some of your role models in the industry, and you just don't know how they're going to be personality-wise.
Yeah, you know what you see on TV,
right,
or whatever, but you don't know how they are in person.
Yeah, and we both grew up playing basketball. Like, we love basketball. So I mean, when you actually meet some people who, like I said, you sort of look up to, and then they're like the most down to earth.
Yeah.
You're smiling. I think no one really knew what to expect on set, because they were like, "Hey, don't ask for pictures. Keep your cell phones to the side." And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Hey, let's snap a photo. Let's hold up the jersey. Let's. I mean." And it was completely night and day.
And we've heard of some productions not being like that, where whoever the person that they're using is like standoffish, doesn't, just wants to come in, get it done, leave. It doesn't matter who's a fan that's there that wants to meet them or whatever. So,
yeah.
Let me read this comment right here. I see you guys are coming in. Welcome to the Dollhouse. Omar Adjective says, "You guys are my role models. I look up to y'all because y'all are taller."
We actually know Omar too. So, hey, thanks, Omar. Appreciate it.
And you guys both have skills as well too. You both are talented. You do hip hop dance, piano, violin, of course, basketball, football, track, theater. So at a young age, for both of you, did your mom always keep you guys in hobbies and sports?
She let us choose. Yeah, she was just always she was always the type of parent. She wouldn't even dress us alike. We had a conversation. He had something to say about this, but I'm gonna say my part, and then you can say what you're gonna say. She wouldn't dress. I thought that, and I feel like she wouldn't dress us alike. She wanted us to choose to dress alike. And then as far as anything that we did, with me playing the violin, it was just people coming to the school. She didn't try to force anything on us. And I was like, "Hey, Ma, I think I want to play the violin." She's like, "Are you okay? I mean, we can try it. Let's if you want to." And it was always like, I guess to a certain extent, empowering us to make the decision. And I feel like, even the times that we did dress alike, that was kind of like because we had that freedom not to dress alike.
Right.
You know.
And then the other thing I'll say is, so we got to a point, and she was always supportive, right? She was always supportive. But she did allow us to make our own decisions. But at the same time, she mastered the art of togetherness. And that was the thing. So if he did something wrong, we both got in trouble. If I did something wrong, we both got punished for it. So even though she gave us the option to sort of, choose our own path, and with the clothes thing, dressing alike, I do have to say this. So one day she used to dress us alike, and one day she was like, "Hey, I can continue to dress y'all alike, or I'll let y'all choose." And me and him actually looked at each other, and we were like, "You can have more clothes. You have more variety. So you get yours, I get mine,
and then we could swap and wear each other's clothes." So, yeah, we were smart about it.
So we were always together. We were always a team, but at the same time, maybe dressing alike was more strategy. So.
Okay, I'm looking at the comments, and you guys are getting so much love. Astro says, "Hi, Jonathan and John. Love y'all both." And Musafar says, "The twins that always stand out."
Well,
thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Now, what I love, go ahead, I'm sorry. Yes, I was saying what I love is that your mom let you guys find your own identity, because I was watching, of course, you guys know T and Tamara Mari. I was watching an interview with Tamara, and Tamara says that when they did the show, Sister, of course, and Jackie, who played Lisa on the show, she said she let the girls find their own identity. So, you keep your name, and you keep your name, and you know you, and I know you at the end of the day. Have you guys ever had that problem where it's just like, okay, this is me, this is my own identity. We're not, we look the same, but we have our own sense of style. We have a different outlook.
I think it's funny that you asked that. That's a really good question. So with us, we are so like-minded on the goal itself, but sometimes we don't see eye to eye on how to get to that goal. And we've had to grow in the area of allowing each other to have that freedom in how we go about ultimately getting to the destination. So at first, and I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've had our share of arguments, and it was based on, "No, I think we should do this. I think we should do that." But the end result was never the question. Yeah.
And I think we also had to master, because you'll find two different perspectives, but sometimes it's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So right. He may see something one way, and I'll see something another way. But at the same time, even though the destination is the same, we're trying to get there on two different journeys. And but to master working together has definitely been.
It's been fun. Yeah. It's been overall fun, but
Right.
And it's amazing because you guys both have your own identity, and you said we've had our share of arguments, and that's normal with brothers and sisters, and just siblings in general. You're gonna have your disagreements, but if you come back together and you're just like, okay, I'm sorry, we love each other at the end of the day. All right.
Yeah.
So for both of you, what is one of you guys' biggest fears?
I think.
Yeah, you can go first. If you go first, it'll give me more time to think.
Oh, okay. What I'll say is this. Fears. I try. At one point, I used to be very fearful. I think, I did a lot of what if. I questioned a lot, different things like that. But I think, but my biggest thing was the fear to fail. But now I think of it differently. And I was actually watching a video, and I didn't know that Kobe actually said something very similar. And it stemmed from one of the most recent playoff games where Giannis was in an interview and they lost in the playoffs. And you know, he said you don't fail. Kobe said it like this. He said you don't fail, you know, unless you stop.
Yeah.
But whenever you make mistakes, whenever you, you know, there are some falls, there are some shortcomings. But if you keep going, you learn, and as long as you keep pushing towards the destination, then you know you'll eventually get there if you don't give up. And I think that's the thing. The hardest thing for me is has been mastering not giving up, remaining persistent and consistent.
All right, that was good. You know, all right, so I think my fear is you know, you have to be somewhat vulnerable with this question. So there's so much that I want to achieve. I want, you know, we both want to achieve, but you know, personally speaking, I have a fear of dying before I get to achieve it all. You know, I don't want to leave anything left on the table, right? So, you know, I've set out on this journey. I take it to heart. My ambition is very strong. You know, our ambition is strong. So with that being said, I do not want to leave this world, you know, feeling like I left something on the table.
That's powerful. And we all have that ambition and that drive to finish what we've started. If we're trying to build a legacy and make a name for ourselves, household name, and all of these things, make our family proud, we want to continue on with them. And that is very, very important. That's powerful. That made me kind of rethink a lot of things and put things into perspective as well, too. So on that note, we're doing the complete opposite. What makes you guys both happy?
Fulfilling, you know, every step closer to just continuing to fulfill, I guess, our dreams that we have set out for us. I don't think it's anything more fulfilling than that. I remember when we first transitioned into the industry, and it's like, man, like, you don't know much. Like, what are we doing? You know? And then it just, every book job, every person that we come into contact with, networking, and I'm gonna say this: every person that you come into contact with, some people will help you directly, and some people help you indirectly. I remember, I won't say the modeling agency, but I remember when we first got in, and they looked at us and said that our look was too commercial and that we wouldn't make it far. And I've actually used this story to help other people who are aspiring models in the industry, friends and family. And you know, I remember looking back on that. That was something that didn't help me directly. It didn't help us directly, and it could have been the very thing that made us just take a step back and not move forward. But we didn't. We didn't stop. And I think that's the thing. You know, we kept pushing forward. You know, when it comes to people, when it comes to the things that make you the happiest, it's like, wow, look at the journey. Look at how much we had to endure to get to this point. And I think that's the thing that's most fulfilling.
Yeah, if it's too easy, then I feel like sometimes it is easy, and that's okay. But if everything you're doing is always easy, you kind of, maybe you don't appreciate it as much as somebody who's had to just grind and put in that hard work every day. You know. And I think something that makes me the happiest is, in addition to what Jonathan said, I'm happy when we get to do jobs together, you know, in the acting space. Like, we model together all the time, you know, But when I just feel like when we get to do things together, something where we're gonna have to perform, like whether we're talking about a character or it can be music or whatever, when we get to do it together, there's like, how some people kind of have to have that icebreaker into a
Yes.
situation. Well, when we're there, that's gone because it's like we have each other and we've always had each other, and we have been used to the most awkward environment where one would be nervous, and we used to be nervous, but we always looked at it like, okay, well, at least it's not just me, it's not just him. Yeah, we have each other. Well, now, I mean, I know that nervousness goes away with experience. Well, now we just go and we do it and we show up, and it's not that anymore. And especially when we're together, we operate in a completely different realm. It's time to be creative and have fun, and the confidence is just at an all-time high.
Right. And it's amazing to be there right near your sibling to be able to work together and just get the job done.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you guys feed off of each other's energy, because I know I have brothers and sisters too. I lost one sister back in 2018, and it's just like now, yes,
Sorry to
her
hear that.
legacy is continuing on, but I have relatives, and it's just like we all have our thing, but we all come together to feed off of each other's energy to get whatever it is done. Family.
That is so true. That's so true.
All right, fashion dolls. It is time for our games, and then we are going to take some questions from the audience because I know you guys have questions for John and Jonathan. We're going to do who's most likely to, and then the guys are going to ask me some questions in the Turn the Table segment. All right? So Turn the Table is for my new viewers, and the guys will ask me questions, whether it's fashion, beauty related, family related, goal related, whatever they want to know, they can ask me, and I definitely will answer. And you guys will get to know a little bit about me through that question. All right. So who's most likely to? I'm curious to know, because you both are siblings. I want to know both growing up. All right. So we're going to kick it off here. Who's most likely to get married first?
You say get married? I'm me.
But I'm pointing as well. He was definitely most likely the person.
Yeah, I got married.
Who's most likely to pull the switcheroo, the old switcheroo on mom and dad? Because I'm pretty sure you guys have done it going to school.
Dang, that's a good question. So we both try, and we still try today. As far as our mom goes, because she never, like, we can never get her. There's only been a few times we can probably count on one hand.
She has to be half asleep.
Yeah.
If she's not half asleep, there's nothing we can do. She always says that we've always looked different.
Yeah, she thinks we look different,
And so there's not a chance. But I think I was the more
always the one to try to get away with. Oh yeah.
So
who's most likely to pull a prank? Who's the prankster?
I think that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
I get on his nerves sometimes too.
He just doesn't know when to stop.
I don't know when to stop. It's just like, I see an opportunity. It's like, prank first. How you feel right now is we'll deal with that later. I'm ready to play this prank.
Right.
Who's most likely to hog the food?
Me again.
John is winning. John is winning.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty. I love food. I'll just say
Who's
that.
most likely to play video games all night?
Oh, I think me too, right? Yeah, me too.
Man.
I don't know. Like I was just earlier. I was just talking to somebody about playing Halo and Call of Duty and just how I just I can play those a lot. I mean, the adventure type video games too. But yeah.
Who's most likely to raid the fridge at night? John.
I am. Yeah. Yeah, I am. It's snack time. 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I mean, I will say, I never could understand how in college he would get like McDonald's or something, and it'll be 2 o'clock in the morning, and he'll just go and open it up and take a bite off of a burger from earlier or some nuggets from earlier, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how can you eat? I can't eat cold food like that. I like it like very hot. So that's the difference between us, right?
But you know, the perfect thing to do it with is pizza, authentic pizza from New York. That's you can eat that
So
cold.
you
can eat
getting
that
fancy
anytime.
now, huh?
I'm just saying. So
When you guys were younger, who was most likely to get in trouble with mom?
golly.
John?
I was.
Man, you were winning.
I was. But I have a reason behind that. So Jonathan was definitely the sneakier one when we were kids, and me, if I had done it, I was very calculated. I knew there was a chance I was gonna get in trouble, but I wouldn't try to hide it. So if I was gonna get in trouble, if I was gonna get caught, I was just gonna get caught, and that was what it was. I wasn't even gonna try to hide it, right? So I think that got me in trouble. That got me in trouble alone.
But I'll say this too though. I was actually also the one who was like the peacemaker, who's trying to like, hey, no, I don't think you should do that. Like, no.
Yes,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So
You were sometimes. Yeah.
That was the thing. So even though I was sneaky about a few things, I was also being, I guess, the older twin.
Yeah, and I feel like I was more risk averse. Like I would take the risk. I was more of the risky twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who's most likely to wake up early?
I think that's me. Right? You think so? You think? I think I get up early. I don't know. I mean,
I think it's about what and what.
yeah.
I'll say that. That's a hard one. Let me have this one since you've had all the others.
Well, you know what? I'll give you that because I don't know. He's gotten up super early, to make some drives or whatever that whether it's to Austin for production or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's gonna push it to the last minute. I looked up how long it was gonna take to get there last night, and I can shave, depending on the distance, I can shave about 15, 20 minutes off. He's gonna leave out like early, and if he gets there earlier, it's fine. He's not gonna push it like I push it. So yeah, I'll say he is.
Yeah, he doesn't account for error at all.
All right, Fashion Dolls. That is who's most likely to. It is time to turn those tables. I see a lot of new viewers are coming in. So for my new viewers that are just now watching the platform, the guys are going to get to ask me some questions in a segment I like to call Turn the Tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, anything fashion, beauty related, family, friends, passion goals, whatever the gentlemen want to know, they can ask. Take it away, gentlemen.
Okay.
I have a question. What does fashion mean to you?
Fashion for me is about stepping outside of the boundaries, doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Like when I'm going out, I wouldn't really wear anything like this. I would typically wear a sundress and a nice pair of shades, or you would probably see me in a onesie and maybe my little bucket hat. I always try to keep it simple when I'm going out, but when I'm doing the show, I try to go over the top with glamour because that's what I love. I love couture fashion. Couture is out of this world, and it's like nothing anyone has ever seen. And I'm from South Carolina, so everyone has their own fashion sense. And I said, okay, if I can't get to Paris, I'm going to bring Paris to South Carolina. So let's bring haute couture fashion to the South. And it's just like, wow, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's like nothing we've never seen before. And I always have been, I would say, the one that strived to be different, or the one that would definitely cause some drama or some noise with style.
Nice. That's cool.
Okay. So what about your start? Like, what about, what drove and motivates you to do everything you've achieved and get to this point?
Wow. I would have to say my mom and my grandmother. Just not too long ago today, my grandmother, she gave me a pep talk. Like she always gives me this little analogy. Keep looking to the hills, which means keep your head up. And that has always motivated me to keep going, just having conversations with your elders. And that would be my advice to anybody to get into this business. Never lose sight of who you are. And we talked about this yesterday with my guest, Michael A. Johnson, originality and individuality. So that's why I asked you guys earlier, was it difficult being twins and having to find your own identity? So that's one thing for me is individuality. So I would have to say my grandmother and my mom, as well as my aunt, have been an amazing influence.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. Our grandma tells us that all the time too. She be like, "Hey, look to the hills,
Yeah.
from whence your help come from." So that's cool. Yeah. All right. So here's another question of mine. So you may have already said this, but was that your number one outfit? The number one style that you like from the gala?
Rihanna's look was actually my favorite look, and that's what inspired today's look. Because if you look, she had the whole headpiece, she had the glasses, and I said, "Oh God, I gotta kind of wear something like that." So out of all the looks, I love Rihanna's, and what I love about her is that she breaks the fashion rules. She's just like, you're not going to tell me when to show up on the red carpet, like she did it for the Grammys back in 2015, where she showed up in the big pink Giambattista Valley. She will literally wait to the last minute and make herself fashionably late. That's what I love about Rihanna, is that she is one of the best styled women. She's one of the 10 best styled Black women, and that she doesn't go by anybody's rules. She breaks the rules with fashion, and that's what has made her a trendsetter. And that's why I'm wearing a look that is similar to hers, because I admire her fearlessness when it comes to just her fashion choices, her hair color choices. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. Her whole demeanor is I can relate to that mentality and attitude. We both can. Just that not allowing this world to box you in. The world can truly be your playground, and even when it doesn't feel like it still can. Oftentimes when it's the toughest, it's just an illusion, and it's just I know people say the cliche things like, "Oh, the coal has to be under pressure for 1,000 years before you can get the diamond," kind of thing. But hey, you have to go through it sometimes. But yeah, I like that. I like her whole demeanor as far as things like that goes.
So what has been your hardest obstacle?
My hardest obstacle, I would have to say, more importantly, being a woman, being Black. That is one of the most difficult obstacles. And it's not just that, but there are other people, and we're all people of color. We have experienced some things like you guys have told your story with the modeling agency. That has happened to other models that I've interviewed as well too. There is racism in the industry and in the business. And so far, I've encountered that. I've encountered colorism, being a darker skinned woman, being told, no, you're not what we're looking for. You're not this type of material. Nobody would ever look for you only for this. And that's what has happened with me. So those are some of the obstacles that I've faced. I've been gaslit, and I've been told, no, your platform maybe in another few years. So I just said, you know what? I did what Beyonce did. I took me some lemons and I made lemonade, and I created my own platform, Style by Stevie. And I said, what are all the things that I know that people love? Fashion, entertainment. They love amazing conversations. So that's what draws people to the platform. And the fact that I, provide all of these things to people, where it's just like a one-stop thing, it's not like other talk show platforms. So those are a few of the obstacles. Colorism, misogyny, Yeah, racism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
It's funny you say that, but it's just crazy how much it's still out there. It's just covered up better, in a sense. And um, kudos to you for just for strength in adversity. That's super. That's, um,
And
I like
very
to hear that.
inspiring.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
inspiring.
All right, so here's a question for you. What has been your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement, I would have to say, is a goal that I set. When January hit, before January, um, I set myself a goal because I do vision boards, and I said I'm going to make 400
Nice.
interviews. And lo and behold, first thing when I hit, what was it? January, at that mark, the last
Hmm.
month before January, I hit my 400th interview. And I was proud of myself because it was like all of
Wow.
the people that I sat with, the people that have prayed, the prayers, the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into this platform, it is definitely paying off. And to see people come in and just engage in the conversation and give their 2 cents and do it respectfully, if they disagree with each other. I haven't really had anybody disagreeing with anybody in the comments or arguing in the comments. It's mostly love and acceptance. People love the platform, and surprisingly to me, I didn't think it would go that far. You kind of doubt yourself for a while, like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. And then it happened, and I was just like, oh my God, 400 interviews. And I told my mom. My mom was like, you know how moms, they try to be coy. That's good, baby. I'm proud of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's super cool. That is so. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, where and to that point, we were definitely honored when at the to be on your show.
Yeah,
So
Honored to have
yeah,
you
thank you.
both here.
same
And
time.
what's amazing to me is that the love that I get, you guys get as well too. People love the JJ twins, and they love what you guys have to offer. You're both humble, and more importantly, that is a thing. To have longevity and a staying power in this business is we have to be humble and your own individuality, and that's what will draw people to you
Yeah,
instantly. And even for me, when I created this platform, I said I want to make it so that I can be like the best friend, the girl next door, uh, the daughter, welcoming into people's homes because they're watching you, and then you want to bring some sort of a comfort to people. And that's one thing that I've gotten from my interviews
yeah,
is that, oh my God, I was nervous, but you made me feel comfortable. And my mom, I guess I picked that up from her because we as children, we pick up certain things from our parents, and it's just like, oh my God, wow, I didn't know that I had the same type of mentality that you have. And my mom, she's been a nurturer. All of our moms are nurturers. So I picked that up from her. And it just sort of took it like into his
yeah.
own. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Well,
You have any more
I
questions?
don't have any more.
All right,
Yeah.
fashion dolls, that is the turn the tables segment. And we did who's most likely to. So you guys can find out more about the JJ twins through those two games, as well as myself. So I had a great time. So while you guys are typing your comments in your questions in the comment section, or you can go to the question box below, whatever works for you guys. I want both of you to give advice to anybody who's looking to become an actor or a model because you both are amazing at what you do. I've seen the photography, I've seen the acting, I've seen the commercials, I've seen everything. You guys have a catalog, an accolade of work that will be out there forever and ever for people to check out and inspire the next generation. What advice would you both give
Thank
to
you.
people that are looking to become actors or that are looking to become models? And someone in the comments earlier, I missed your comment, I didn't get to it, but they said that you guys both are going to take the fashion world by storm. And you already have because you did New York Fashion Week, which is a big event. I have family in New York, so I know it's hectic
Yeah.
during the winter months. I can only imagine what it's like going backstage at a fashion show. So,
Oh,
what advice
yeah.
would you both? Go
It's
ahead.
crazy. It's crazy how calm things are when people see
Yeah.
the models walking across the stage, but sometimes it is like depending on the timing, all of the music, everything is like put together, and like everything has to stay intact because of the timing of the songs and all of that, and it just looks so calm, when we're out on the runway, but behind, oh. Yeah, it can be chaotic. But to answer your question, as far as the advice I would give someone who's looking to become an actor and a model is don't let the
Mm.
industry tell you what you know in a sense uh make you feel like you're not what they're looking for, or don't just don't let the industry dictate your being, because a lot of times the industry doesn't know what they're looking for. You know, you can be the first to do whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I can't tell you how many castings or whatever we go through. See, the thing is, even at the point whether we're talking about acting or modeling, the castings or auditions, they know that they're looking for an actor or a model, and you might fit the bill, right? But then you might not. And the thing is, they don't actually know who they're looking for until they walk into the room and it was something about that person, or maybe we're virtual now. Maybe the self tape in the audition. A lot of times they don't even know. So there are people out there who give advice, but a lot of advice that's given is subjective and it's based on personal experiences. Um, Never let anybody take away who you are, because who you are, if this is something that you want to do in some kind of way, who you are is what they're looking for, especially if you have that confidence, if you have the, just a certain demeanor. We live in a world where it like you can be local anywhere because of how virtual things are, and my whole thing is you can't, like, if it's what you want to do, there's a demand for you in some kind of way.
Yep. I'll actually say this. Always just prepare. If you want to model, then don't just show up and say I want to model without being in your mirror. Practicing
Or doing the research,
practicing a walk,
doing the
like
research,
do research, and and definitely as far as even acting, like I'd say get to the point to where you always, they say if you're always ready, you never have to get ready, and that's the thing, because and there are a lot of people out there that are gonna withhold information. They're never gonna tell you how to move forward. So
just because it's a competition
just
thing.
because it's a competition. But then there are a lot of people who will help you, who will be out there, who will tell you that yes. And that's really all that you're looking for, is that yes. You don't let them dictate who you are. You be you, and do, write something down, like write down a dream vision, do a vision board, whatever.
Oh yeah, you said you did vision boards.
Right.
Vision boards are powerful, and think about it like this: everything that we see, everything that the pillow that we look at, or whatever it is, that was a thought that somebody had before it was actually invented. So everything starts with a thought anyway, right? So be powerful in your thoughts, and do what you do.
And that's the thing. So you eventually, after doing all of this, because if that's truly something you want to do, then do it, and don't let anybody stop you. I can literally go back to a lot of stories of successful people in the industry who sacrificed, who gave gave their blood, sweat, and tears, and but they didn't give up. And one day they achieved, and they were able to walk into that room that was looking for them, and that was
The rest was history.
yeah,
Huh?
it was history. So I definitely say, yeah, there are a couple of things that I've worked on that's finally coming out this year. That's you know, I didn't give up. So
You guys kept going. It's about perseverance. And I love what you said, Jonathan, which is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Being professional in this business, and that's something that I stated yesterday in yesterday's show. I said that going into this thing, I want to be prepared for my interviews. I want to be prepared for everything that I do, make sure that I'm on time. It's a lot, especially when you're balancing it all on your shoulders. Like when the chips all fall down in
Mm-hmm.
line, it's all going to be back on you if you're not on time or professionalism, because that is thing for these casting directors as well as these producers out here and writers and anybody else who is looking to book you for fashion shows or gigs, and they're just like, oh, this person is down on time. Professionalism is key. And even when I went to
It,
beauty school,
yeah.
my beauty school instructor, she taught me that procrastination, why put off the day what you can do tomorrow? Make sure that you're doing it right now in the present. Get it done. And that's the mindset that I've been raised by, is making sure that you get things done on time. And I've always been like that. My brother went in the military, so it's like automatic, making sure that you get it done on time. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, and I love what you said about the whole professionalism thing. I think a great goal to set in this industry is don't make it about the audition itself, and don't make it about about your ability in a sense. I mean, always invest in yourself. Always invest in your ability. Always be in a standpoint of growth, and open to how you can do things better or versatility or whatever, because those things are key. But I will say another goal that's very important is always to be rebooked, right? Yeah, how many, Michael B. Jordan, um, he had, and other well-known actors who's established this relationship with these casting directors and producers. And, they're to points in their careers where, because of a relationship
Mhm.
that was built a long time ago, they're trusted to be able to get in there and get the job done. So that's another way that we look at things. We don't necessarily walk into a room with the casting director or any kind, however we're in touch with them, focused on, okay, what do they want? What can we do? What is it? No, it's about building that relationship, because you when you look at it in the industry, when you work with certain people, sometimes you're gonna have to work with them for hours, weeks, months. It doesn't. Um, if that relationship isn't, if you're not gonna want to work with somebody for 8 hours in a day if y'all don't get along.
yeah. And
So
then and then I'll just add one more thing, and I'll make it short and sweet. We went to college. We invested in ourselves for 4 to 5 years. We all went through some type of
Mhm.
schooling, some type of training. It doesn't happen overnight. For some people, it does, and that's just
yeah,
the
that's okay.
nature of the business. But for a majority, it doesn't. So just invest in yourself and just keep going. That's the
That's the
And
key.
invest
yeah.
in your future. If this is something that you really, 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 really want to
Yes.
do, make sure that you are investing into
Yes.
your future and putting your all into you. It's a lot that goes into it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. It is.
All right, fashion dolls. So I don't see any questions in the comments. I'm going to conclude our show today with today's final thought. You guys know that we always close out the show with a food for thought and wisdom, some words of encouragement. Today's quote comes from
Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. That means that it might seem like a dark period, a dark cloud is hanging over you, but you will overcome and triumph at the end of the day. And that is for anybody out there. It might seem like things are not going to come together, But you just keep working hard and you keep persevering. And it goes back to what Jonathan just said, which is making sure that you stay ready so that you do not have to get ready for whatever career move it is, a career shift. It can be uncomfortable. It can be scary for certain people going in a new direction and having to start over, especially when you had to build it all the way up from the beginning. Trust me, I've had to start over and go back to the drawing board plenty of times. But at the end of the day, it only makes you even more better. So to anybody out there, it might seem like it's going to rain forever, but trust me, there's going to be some sunshine at the end of the tunnel. And that basically is what Martin Luther King Jr. is saying in this quote. So that is today's final thought, Fashion Dolls. Jonathan, John, let everyone know where they can follow you. I pinned the website below. Make sure you guys go and check out the JJ Twins. And if you guys have any upcoming events or anything, you can let everyone know.
All right. So follow us at the JJ Twins brand. We have that's our tag on TikTok and on IG and YouTube as well.
And also so Jonathan Calton as well. I know I always do this. So just my first and last name. You can also find those channels as well, which I sort of use that for my individual work, and then I still also include our work on there. And also, so I do have something that's airing right now. It's called David Diamond Hands. You can also find it streaming on TikTok. So TikTok has started streaming shows. I'm in a web series on TikTok, and it was pretty fun. It's funny, and I'll just do a brief synopsis. It's actually a guy who, crypto, he lost his password, and now I'm actually one of the bad guys in there. Can you believe it, right? And so I'm actually antagonizing, along with my boss and another wonderful guy named Michael, and we are literally torturing this guy.
Don't give him too much of the story.
I'm not. That's all I'll say, and that's where we can be found.
And mine is simply like my Facebook, just John Calton. Just our first and last name. So yeah.
All right, Fashion Dolls, ladies and gentlemen, the JJ Twins, Jonathan and John. Fellas, it was such a pleasure having you both here. I had such a great time, and I definitely would love to have you back on in the future, because I see so much in the future. Again, I can't stop thinking about that comment someone posted in the comments earlier. And when I went through you guys' Instagram, I said, these two guys are going to take over the fashion world by storm. I can feel it. I definitely feel it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Same here, and thank you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. We've definitely had fun, and hey, love what you do and what you're doing, and yeah, it would be our pleasure to be back on the show.
Yeah, and thank you for all the inspiration.
You are so welcome, Jonathan. You are so welcome. I had such a great time, fellas. Now, Thursday, we're also going to have a good time as well, too, because guess whose birthday it is? My brother K Tukes, 85, host of the K Tukes Spot. He will be joining me Thursday. No show tomorrow or Friday, but we will be back Thursday. So make sure you guys tune in as we celebrate with K Tukes and catch up with him. I love you all, Fashion Dolls. And remember, it doesn't rain forever. There's always going to be sunshine at the end of the tunnel. I love you all, Fashion Dolls, and thank you for tuning in. Special thanks to Jonathan and John, the JJ Twins. Thank you, fellas, so much.
Thank
you,
everyone.
Thank you.